mission is to encourage my brothers and wake up the African peoples to unify our continent, Africa. Since 1963, the hero of the African unity, Kwame Nkrumah.
We must unite or we perish. This African Union now. There is no time to waste.
Divided we are weak. United will become one of the greatest continents in the world. Kwame Nkrumah once said, today I am so happy. Today I am the most happiest person on this planet Earth. And why? Do you know why I'm so happy? Can you read this for me? Look at this. Look at this. Can you see it? Yeah? President of Ghana approved visa-free for all Africans. Visa-free entry for all African passport holders. As long as you are an African holding an African passport from January 2025, you can go to Ghana without a visa. Just take your passport, get ready, go to Ghana without no visa. This is the best Christmas gift that the president of Ghana could have given to the continent of Africa. And Mr. President, we thank you for this. This is what we here in One Africa Mission, this is what our mission is all about. Our mission is all about the unity of our continent and our collective dignity as a race, because we believe that without unity as African people, we will never regain back our dignity. The colonial criminals who went to Berlin and divide Africa among themselves, they did it in purpose. They did it to make sure that we, the children of Africa, will be languishing at the bottom of the human pyramid. And true, we are suffering from what they did to us. Van Bismarck and his colleagues, his colonial criminal colleagues, what they did to us, petitioning Africa among themselves. So why are we still holding on to this petitioning of Africa? The other day when we were in Namibia just 3 weeks ago, we went to the border between Namibia and that of Angola. You could see it.
Yeah, so One Africa Mission, as we keep saying, so imagine right now we are standing in Namibia, but look, this is the only thing that divides Namibia and Angola. So if you stand here, you are in Namibia. Over here is Angola. So the question is, why are we keeping these colonial boundaries? Who put this wire here? It was the colonial criminals. They put it here. So it is about time our African leaders dismantle these wires. Just take it out and give us the freedom, so that if I put my leg here, I'll be in Angola without any problem. Because right now, if I dare put my leg here, the authorities in Angola, I'll be arrested. But I'm in Angola. As I'm in Namibia, this is Namibia and this is Angola. Who did this to us? It is the colonial criminals. It is time to give us a borderless Africa. And this is what we are demanding from our leaders. Thank you.
It was just a tiny wire. Yes, it was just this tiny wire that is dividing Namibia and that of Angola. And these are same family. These are same people. Why are we holding on to this Berlin Conference petitioning of Africa? We claim that we have gained our independence. If we are truly independent and sovereign nations, then we must do away with the colonial criminals' borders. So if the president of Ghana today is giving us all children of Africa holding African passport freedom or free to move to go to Ghana without visa, this is very laudable. And then we thank the president of Ghana for this. And then we urge other African countries. Ethiopia. The other day when I was going to Ethiopia, I had to pay $80 to go to Ethiopia. Why? Ethiopia is the economic capital. It's the administrative capital of Africa. Ethiopia is the administrative capital of Africa. And why do we have to pay money to go to? It's just like an American paying money to go to Washington. Why must we pay money to go to Addis Ababa or Ethiopia? We have to do away with this. And then we're calling on the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, you to give us freedom to come to Ethiopia freely. We don't need visas to visit another African country. Europeans don't do that. And I keep repeating this. European citizens appreciate the continent of Europe. And they are proud of Europe because they have the freedom to travel within Europe, to appreciate it. Every European citizen that you meet, who is, let's say, 16 to 20 years, 25 years, they already have the opportunity to travel around at least, if not 10, then 15 countries. But what about us as African people? We have the most beautiful continent in the world. But we don't appreciate it because we don't have the freedom to travel from one country to another. The restrictions are just too much. So if the president of Ghana is today joining other few African countries who have given free movement or free visa to enter their countries, then we can only say thank you to Mr. President for this. But we are not stopping. We are also calling on the president. I wonder why he didn't add our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Those people who was forcefully taken away outside of Africa. And I'm talking about our black Americans. They don't have to pay money to get a visa to come to Ghana. I am talking about our black Caribbeans, those in Jamaica, in Guyana, in Bahamas, those in Suriname, those people, all our brothers and sisters in the Caribbeans, those in the islands, they don't have to pay money to visit Africa. Africa is their mother continent. They were taken away forcefully, so they don't have to pay money when they want to come back home. So I am calling on the next president coming in on the 7th of January, President John Mahama, please make it extended to our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, those black British, those black Europeans whose ancestors were forcefully taken away out of Africa. Please add them to this initiative. Grant them that freedom to come to Africa without visa. Yes, you may say, oh, what about other British or other Americans? Those European Americans, if they want to come to Africa, let them pay money. Because, you see, we have to give that privilege. We have to give ourselves that privilege. Our Queen sister was talking about that.
Us as black people, and I'm calling out everybody black, we have to create our own black privilege. We have to.
Yes, our Queen sister was talking about that. Everybody on this planet Earth is creating privileges for themselves. So if you ask me, yes, let the black Americans, give them free visa free to come to Africa. If European Americans want to come to Africa, they should pay. If European Caribbean want to come to Africa, they should pay. But black Caribbeans have to come to Africa free without any paying for visa. Because even Europeans who are in South Africa, if they want to go to Europe with a South African passport, it's easy for them. The Europeans will make it easy for them because they always prioritize their own, even if they are outside of Europe. So if we too, our black Americans, why must they pay to come to Africa? So we are calling on the next president of Ghana, please extend it to them. Extend it to them. Any black American with an American passport, any black Caribbean with a Caribbean passport, any black European, whether in Britain or whatever, as long as their ancestors was forcefully taken away from Africa, they must come to Africa without paying a penny. That is what we are expecting from our leaders. So yes, I am so excited. I am so happy that the president of Ghana is giving us this kind of Christmas gift. But we are calling on other African countries to eliminate the same thing, do the same thing. What are you waiting for? We are calling on other African countries, do the same thing. Uganda, Mozambique, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, all of them, like the continent of Africa, please make it free. We're calling, as a matter of fact, we are calling on the next African Union chairperson who will be taking over from Musa Faki next year. Please give us one African passport. Let that be your priority, because this is what we are calling for. as I keep saying, Europeans appreciate Europe. Americans appreciate America because they have the freedom to travel freely. To the extent that even in our own continent, that Europeans have the freedom to travel freely within the continent of Africa with a European passport, then we, the children of Africa, with an African passport. Why? Why must it be so? So if the president of Ghana has given us this kind of Christmas gift, we don't know how much to say thank you to him. Mr. President, you have really done well. This is what we are expecting from our leaders. Eritrea, learn from this. Sudan, learn from that. I don't know about our North African brothers and sisters. They can also learn from that. Let the continent of Africa be free for we, the children of Africa, to move freely. I thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing here in One Africa Mission, it is difficult. We just returned back from Namibia. We intend to visit the 54 states of Africa to preach the gospel of a united Africa to our people, especially to the youth. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing, then let us bring our energies together and fight for a united, dignified Africa, not just for us, but for the next generation of Africans. The next generation of Africans deserve to live in an Africa where they can move freely within the continent of Africa. And for those of you who think that having a borderless Africa will make other African countries to run into your country, please, that is not true. Because what we know, Rwanda, Seychelles, other African countries have already done that. How many Africans run to their country? When we do that, it is only going to inure to our own benefit. Let us do it so that future generation of Africans will be proud of us. Join our mission, the #1 African mission. We are on a mission until we see a borderless Africa. We are on a mission until we dismantle all the criminal borders that was put on us by Van Bismarck and his criminal gang. Our ancestors never put no borders to restrict us from traveling within the continent of Africa. And then we, this generation of Africans, we have the chance never before afforded to any generation of Africans to bring an end to that nonsense. I thank you very much for coming around.
We must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united.